So this was the first time. I think I've had like over 25 Uber rides since I've been working. First time I've had a female Uber driver. Her name's Marilu, a Spanish-speaking lady, a paisana, and she had a Kia, like some sort of like SUV, like a smaller SUV. It was a Kia, really nice. And I forgot to tell you guys, sometime last week, I think it was on my last day, because I've been off 2 days. I want to say, today must have been on Sunday. And when I'm working on Sunday, I forget it's Sunday, right? But like I said, on the weekends, right here at my job, it's more, you get most of the families, there's more kids in the store with their parents and couples, and, it gets just family day. It's the weekend. And so when I have, if I'm like, there'll be a time where like one of my aisles that I have to oversee, that I have to work, because it's my department. If I ask one person if they need help, usually there's someone, if it's busy, like they're like, okay, well, he opened up the offering. So like after I'm done helping this person, so it's a lot of times I'm focused on what they're asking me for help, but then there'll be situations where I don't like somebody just right there, like with their arms folded, watching me. So I'll be like, okay, all right, sir, like spit it, like, like, because some people have, like, they have location questions, like, where's this at? Or some people, I can help them with their questions or their confusion, like quicker than others, right? Other people actually need some plumbing knowledge where I have to actually like help them figure out what to do. So if I'm just right there kind of thinking and this person just watching me because I'm like trying to figure out how I could help them or how I could puzzle something together for them. And if there's somebody else, I could already tell that they're waiting for me to like either ask them like, you need help, or they're waiting for me to be done with this person. I'll just be like, all right, man, let me know what you need. Because like I said, I'd rather just kind of get these. Sometimes like, I'll be helping one person and I could easily, like 3 people that are like waiting, just staring at me, I could easily just help them real fast. Like, oh, where's this at? Oh, it's over there, or it's over here. While in my mind, I'm still trying to figure out what this other person needs. So I was almost getting off of work, and I was in this particular aisle, and so I was more focused on self-control and like trying to like help all these people out, and just kind of noticing who was around. I have tattoos, so like I'll notice like little kids, impressionable children or younger humans. They're like always notice me, and I notice them with their parents. So I just always say, okay, whatever, And so in this particular, there was this gentleman with his young daughter, and he just was. I always try to keep asking them like, we need help, because he was in that aisle for a while, but like I said, it's Sunday, so he must have just brought his kid with him to Home Depot. And so I just remember them. And so I kept asking him maybe a few times, and then he was right behind me. So I'm just like aware, like I'm trying to put stuff I'm like cleaning up that aisle. I'm putting stuff back. And then there was like, maybe like a couple other gentlemen came down that aisle. So it was like 3 people that were on my mind that I was just aware of in my surroundings. And so I think that gentleman with his daughter, they didn't need help. He was just looking he was looking at like some of our drain cleaning things and stuff like that, some tools. He was more, looking at the tools. He was taking his time, And then, like I said, there was some other gentleman. I think I had finished helping like 2 guys. And sometimes when I have most of the time when I have these successful interactions where I could help people with their issues, or I could like help them figure their problem out, it always we leave the conversation where they're grateful, and I'm just grateful they were positive. We had a positive interaction. So I feel like a sense of vibration, a higher vibration. So and I continued to try to like clean up that aisle, because the aisle got really messy. I had like this little goal in mind to like leave my coworker, who was still going to be on the clock for a few hours after I left, leave their leave them a little, feeling a little lighter, like, okay, at least, you know, this person like cleaned up certain parts of our department that tend to get messy, you know, like where the little parts are, where people just kind of like will take stuff out of the bag to like match it up and put it back in the bag, but not put it in its right place, you know? And so, like I said, that guy was there with his daughter, that father was there with his daughter. And by this time, like, it was just them. Like, I had finished helping like 2 guys real fast. Like I said, 2 guys at a time, you know, like 2 customers at a time to like just get them on their way, and like so people aren't watching me. Just so, like, you know, I have anxiety with human interaction sometimes, you know, or hesitancy. So I like to just approach it already, you know. And I was almost gonna get off of work anyway, and I knew I was gonna have 2 days off. So I was like, okay, cool, you know. And my shift was coming to an end, blah blah blah, and so like I wasn't really paying attention to nothing. I was like just like focused on the products in my hand that I was looking for the location to put them back. But then this older female, this older woman, she out of nowhere, she comes and like she shows me her. I never looked at her in her eyes. I didn't bother to like most of the time I'd rather not do that with any of the customers that I'm dealing with. Just like listen to them more and help them out, you know. And so I just noticed her hands and whatever was in her hand, and hearing her voice, she's like, I bought this, but I'm returning it, and I need the same thing, but it doesn't have a barcode on it. And I'm like, all right. And like I said, this time I noticed, I don't know, from her voice, I just knew she was older than me, just, you know, by her voice, and she was an older woman. And again, so then I was like, okay, cool. Okay, but then at this time, my coworker, like simultaneously as she's asking me, like, it's kind of irrelevant, I just want to state the setting, you know. And she showed me the product. I was like, oh yeah, it's over here. I knew where it was at. I was like, okay, it's over here. And my coworker's passing by, and he points to like where it was at to be helpful, you know. And so that's why I noticed. But then he kept walking. So at this time, he's walking through the aisle, and right right next to me and this female customer is that father and his daughter. And so so I'm like looking at the part, and I find the part she needs. She's like, is it the same size? I'm like, yeah, it has a barcode. And then at this time, like, for some reason, she's like kind of trying to prolong the conversation. And I'm like, then I start noticing, like, then I kind of do start looking at her a little bit, because she keeps like, is it the same size? And she's like, and I, like, just the way I felt like she wanted to like just be around me. Like, she just wanted to be around me. She wanted to feel that human interaction, maybe with the male. And like, by this time, she's standing right in front of me, giving me her full like attention. And I don't know. And like, she's like, is it the right size? She's like, and then I'm like, I look up, and this time when I look up, I look at her, but I don't think she looked at me at this time, or maybe she did, but I was still a little more focused on, you know, helping her out. And I'm like, dude, she's beautiful, man. She was a beautiful older woman, and she had to be like late 50s, close to 60, just beautiful, beautiful older woman. And then I'm like, yeah, this is the size. And then like, what happened? I don't know what happened. And like, it just seemed kind of awkward. Like I saw it was busy, so maybe she was like already like noticing me while I was helping out these other people. Like I said, like after I was done like helping out these like juggling these customers and helping them out and kind of clearing the aisle, and it was just now me and the father looking at the tools and my coworker passing by. All of a sudden, like, she came up to me, she gave me that part. I was just gonna help her real quick, and like not really focusing like too much on her, just like she's just another customer. I just gotta help out, do my job. But I just kind of noticed her kind of like just chilling there a little bit, like in that quick interaction. Like usually it's like, oh, help me out, I gotta go, you know, or something like that. But this time I noticed, like, she's like, is it the right size? It doesn't have a barcode, I gotta return it. So when I found her part, she kept asking, is it the right size? Is it the right thing? I'm like, yeah, it has a barcode on it. And I might have checked the price for her, I don't remember. But then I noticed like her relaxation, and so that's when I looked up and I looked at her. And then I think she was like, okay, thank you. And then at this time I just noticed she was beautiful. I didn't really like pay attention too much to her. But then like she comes back again. She came back again, and she's like, oh, I got this one too. And at this time I'm like, okay, she really wants to just kind of like, maybe she's profiling me or something, or maybe she noticed me from before. Like I said, I didn't really look at her. Like I wasn't really looking at her. I just noticed she was beautiful without really looking at her. I'm pretty, like, I could just tell, right? Like, I don't know, men could just tell, you know? And I just could tell she was beautiful. But then when she ends up leaving, she came back again. And this time I really noticed, like, why she come back again? Like, it was kind of irrelevant why she came back, you know? And, but this time I really noticed that she, like, wanted me to notice her, like, and that's when I look up. Like, something clicked in my head. I look up, and this time we made eye contact, and she's literally close to me. We're like we're not holding hands, but our hands are together, like up at attention, because the little tiny part that she had in her hand, you know, some little tiny some really small tiny part, you know. And like I said, it's Sunday, so like she would have had her husband there, you know, especially dealing with some sort of fucking part or whatever. But then this time, I swear, I just like, somebody told me like, dude, this lady's like, she's like not flirting, but she's like wants your attention. So I look up, and then we locked eyes on each other, and I felt like the sexual attention was like, this time I noticed, damn, she's beautiful. But as soon as we locked eyes, that was like her whole purpose for that moment was like, okay, you noticed me. I looked up, dude, she was like 60 years old, bro, fucking beautiful. And she's like, okay, thank you. As soon as we locked eyes, like, she was telling me something. I look up, like, fuck. Okay, but then what had happened was, as soon as we locked eyes, because she was asking me, she came back again for like no reason. She was asking me like, oh, is it the right size? She asked like the same thing again. Like, she's like, oh, I need to return this, but I don't need this size or whatever. Like I said, it was just like, she just wanted to come talk to me or see me or something. And so I noticed the dad was right there and his daughter, but I wanted to tell her like, yeah, you're beautiful, or like, so I was like, well, I just literally, I kind of turned around and like said, I was like, I don't think she heard me, but I think, I know I said this, but kind of low, like, well, let me check over here, like come over here, like, let's go at least like a couple yards away, like, let's kind of go towards the end of the aisle, because I was gonna tell her, you're beautiful, like, what's your name? But she kind of didn't understand. Like, she's like, well, and that's when I kind of came back to her, and that's when I ended up really realizing, like, I'm gonna look her in the eyes, and like, that's when I looked her in the eyes, and she said, okay, thank you. And she noticed that I finally like paid attention to how she looked, and when she turned around, bro, for like a late 50s to 60-year-old woman, bro, her body, bro, like specifically her ass, like her butt, bro, dude, this lady, like, now I'm more interested in her, like why is she like that, you know? Why is she, an older woman, so much focused on how she looks, like, and keeping up her beauty like that? Like, what did she do? Like, what was her life like? Like, I want to know, like. But she looks familiar, like I've seen her before, but this is the first time I noticed. And like, when she walked away, she knew, like, she knew what she had, and she knew who she was, and like, she wanted to show me how sexy she was, like. And bro, even when I was like, damn, I need to see her again, like, bro, if you could see her, like, I saw her butt, it's not fake at all, but it's also, she's just very, for her, you know, like, you see an older woman, usually, like, she has a nice body, she might, like, it might not be as asymmetrical as you like, you know, but this older lady, like, oh my goodness, man. But she looks familiar, like I've seen her before, and next time I'm gonna seal the deal for sure. But it takes me back to another part, like, yeah, getting up in the morning and saying, fuck, I gotta go to work, and, you know, in any human interaction, you can have people that you have a little tension with, or like, you may have a little rougher relationship around, or you may have a little anxiousness, or a little, you know, you feel a little unsure around, or situations that you're going to incur, and you're going to be, these are going to be rocky sometimes. Emotions you're going to have to conceal, aggression you're going to have to calm yourself down in certain situations that seem high stress, and so you're reluctant to go to anywhere that may bring these emotions up, or these dealings that you have to deal with. And but someone like myself who avoids friend groups and doesn't really do nothing, who does a lot of things like exercise, but a lot of things that are, I do by myself. They're kind of, I'm pretty much solo a lot. I wouldn't say I'm lonely, because I don't really have time to be lonely, in a sense, because I've always stayed busy, so I haven't really been as depressed as I would before, doing exercise, and like I said, just kind of staying busy, which gets tiring. But specifically, am I lonely? No. I'm not somebody, am I like a crazy isolator, like in the woods and like thinking about harming people? No. So it brings up the thing that I do like this job, that I do like the many interactions, I do like I do like some of my coworkers I get to see, amidst, ones that I'm kind of a little timid amongst, because of, there's certain characteristic traits that probably trigger me, or that I feel like I'd rather avoid that type of individual. And but yeah, so I just wanted to bring up that idea. Like, that's what I do like about this job, is the human interactions, because human interaction is a big deal. I think people die of depression all the time, drugs, alcoholism, suicide, anger, bitterness, loneliness. Those are all signs of, like, those are all things that kill humans, they kill humans. And a lot of that is because of what happened to us as children, and the emotions that we have inside of us, that we feel like there's nobody who can understand us, so we'd rather just be alone and not have to deal with people's judgments, or people's misunderstandings, or people's labels, and people's, people like to gossip. It's crazy how the healthier people who are cool amongst groups, or cool trying to be like the leader of a group, like high school shit, like teenage shit, but that shit still happens in fucking adulthood, in companies, and fucking at gyms, or in these team settings. There's always that person that could lead the group, but they're like healthier, and there's like the healthier followers. And it's funny how they like to judge the less healthy, the less fortunate, when it comes to the position they're in. But a lot of times, people who are left alone, people who are the oddballs or the outcasts, in a lot of senses, they're the most fortunate. They see the world differently, etc. But anyway, this is a long ass little clip. But man, I hope I see that older lady. Like I said, maybe I'm tripping, but I feel like she was really trying to, she was interested in me, and I'm gonna talk to her next time, man. And so I've had some interactions here on this job where I feel like these women are interested in me, and they want to talk, and they want to maybe get to know me, and I need to fucking man up and just be normal, and not be so fucking judgmental about myself, and about how I feel like my voice sounds, or if I'm ugly, or my smile, or so anyway, she's man, 60-year-old woman. It's crazy. It's amazing. I was so curious, like, how much effort does she put in her body, It's like, I don't know, I'm just curious. Peace. That's super. If anybody wants one, let me know. I gotta calculate how much I gotta sell them for. I think it's like $13 for the hat. That's what I paid. So like $40 a hat, probably. Super. This shit is funny as fuck, bro.
Nigga, I thought you was a thug. I ain't got nowhere to go. I shot up everywhere they would. You didn't know who took this.
Alright, guys, so we're on chapter 13 of Johnny's Got His Gun. During the second year of his new time world, nothing happened except that once a night, Nurse stumbled and felt... Alright, guys, we're on chapter 13 of Johnny's Got His Gun. During the second year of his new time... Alright, guys, we're on chapter 13 of Johnny's Got His Gun. During the second year of his new time world,